Hey, y'all, welcome back. If you haven't watched part one, that should be up, and I believe we probably have a link of some sort somewhere. Okay. But this is going to be part two. We'd originally meant to shoot it as just one episode. But honestly, man, we start talking about art. We start talking about the stuff that we enjoyed this year. It ran a little long. Okay. We didn't want to chop it down too much for you. So please stick with us and enjoy part two of the sort of weird 2025 roundup.
Yeah.
Um, so I live in a really small town of less than 9,000 people. And in today's age of Blu-rays and streaming, I actually don't get out to the movie theaters anywhere close to the frequency that I used to when I was younger. But there was one movie for me this year that there was no way that I was not going to go see it on the big screen because, as the man said that made it, this was a movie that's made to be watched in theaters on the big screen, and that was Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. I'm a
Mm.
huge spy thriller fan. I think that Mission Impossible is one of the greatest action movie franchises. There's eight of them now in the series, and I feel like each one has gotten better, and this final installment for the entire franchise did not disappoint at all. It had me on the edge of my seat from beginning to end, and it was just a great send-off for a franchise now that has lasted 3 decades and eight movies. Um, if you like, action and you don't mind Tom Cruise, I would say definitely give Final Reckoning a watch. It absolutely it knocked my socks off.
All right. Yeah, no, I haven't kept up with the MI franchise, and maybe I should go back and
I-
revisit those.
I've I've seen all of them but that one, and I think for me it was one of those things where it's like, well, when I watch it, it's over. So, Billy, I think it's fair to say like the Mission Impossible series isn't the type of thing that's gonna like, win a Pulitzer, but at the
Yeah,
same time, it is a style of art that I'm not sure anything's really on the level of, right? The amount of work and meticulous detail that goes into each of these stunts, the reliance on practicals, and I mean, let's be honest, like Tom Cruise, you can love him or hate him. He's clearly one of the top movie stars the world has ever produced, right? And he continually puts himself like at risk, at high risk to be able to pull off some of this stuff. So, for fans of action, and I think the three of us are, for fans of action, like I think there's a special place for this series. The number of installments that they got to have maybe one that's a little iffy is probably the biggest knock I could say. Like it's solid. And look, man,
Interesting.
like we're we're a group of artists, but like I like eating popcorn and watching explosions. And
it
like this
it
is like the
it.
highest level
I
of that,
mean,
you
Yeah,
know?
it
I'll
is.
go watch the shit out of a Michael Bay
It's
film, right?
yeah.
Like,
Right.
It is the epiphany of what just a popcorn movie is. It's just a
Do,
movie that's fun and fun to watch. You
do
know.
you want to say that it's the epitome? Because it might not be the epiphany, but you go with that. You go with that. Um, we got one coming up. Brooks, you got what you got?
I'll keep it with the movie in that same vein. Let Billy take the lead there, but uh, Fantastic Four came out this year. Uh, Not the best movie. Again, like get yourself some popcorn, maybe get a soda if you've got an extra $20 to spare. And sit down and watch that movie in a theater. You can't now, but that I think is the whole intent of a movie like that. And I was expecting disappointment. Like even, knowing the actors and where Marvel
Brooks,
is
because
going
the other
throughout the
ones have
years.
been terrible. Let's be honest. Like
Exactly.
the
Like
Fantastic Four was the cursed
yeah,
franchise.
right. Like I mean, fool me once, right? Fool me three times. Yeah, you might still get my money, but
But
I'm gonna be
they did make a
skeptical.
Fantastic Fourth.
Fourth, fourth, fourth time's a charm, and it was like I was not disappointed.
And
Not the best film.
thank God for that series too, because the Fantastic Four was Marvel Comics' first team book, and
Hmm,
for many decades considered the crown jewel of the company. And for them not to get even a decent movie up until now is
yeah.
crazy. And I'm really glad that made your list.
Yeah, and now I don't know about Robert Downey Jr. being Doom, uh, but we'll see. I mean,
If
there's
he can
worse
pull off
picks.
Tropic Thunder, he can pull off anything. So
There's
let's not.
worse picks, right? Uh,
And hey, look, let's remind the audience of something. By the way, we promised you our top favoritist art things. Okay, if we were supposed to do some kind of art house film list, you can get that somewhere else. We're giving you a list of stuff we think is dope.
yeah, we're
Yeah,
not Pitchfork,
we have
obviously.
fun here. We like fun things.
All right. Well, so I'm gonna hop in here and say, and Brooks, this is one you and I talked about prior to filming today, and I don't know how to really quantify or say this, but how about just Boldy James's crazy ass run of albums, right? Hey, why aren't you
Insane.
picking at one particular album? Because none of them would have made my list. There's not one on there where I'm like, oh man, that's like a. But like, if y'all don't know, like my group text thread is blowing up. They're like, did he drop? It's 2 weeks ago. He just tried. It's so many dope bars, like so much good music. The guy's got range. I mean, he does him, but the guy's got range, and I don't know honestly. And look, maybe someone can tell me. I don't think anybody's ever dropped this amount of music and this amount, like ever. I'm not like, okay, SoundCloud, I get it, but like actually like releasing stuff. So there's one track called Skinny Me that sticks out. The rest of it was just more like, dude, go get yours. And like I liked it, man. Like if you can turn it out like that and you can stay consistent and you can deliver and you've got a fan base that says give me more of it, like keep pumping them out, dude. Shoot your shot, right? So how about I'm just calling this one Boldy James crazy ass run.
Yeah, I'll co-sign that. Like just all year, right? You'd go open up Spotify and you're like, there's a new Boldy James.
Yeah, it's a new Boldy
That
James. Well,
he
and
It was
you'd
released
be like,
last week.
yeah, you'd be like, that's just a single. That's just oh, that's 12 tracks.
Just a short album.
All right, Billy, keep us going.
I've picked a lot of mainstream kind of popular things, but this next thing on my list definitely comes straight out of the indie space. And it's another video game. And for all those lovers out there of the Metroids, of the 2D style Metroids, of the Castlevanias, the pixel 2D style Castlevanias, I've got a really great pick, which is Trent Kanuga's Twilight Monk. It is
Mm,
a Metroidvania style game, but it's also got some light RPG elements and a semi 2.5D open world in the vein of Zelda 2 Link's Awakening from the NES. So it's got some new ideas thrown into the Metroidvania space. The art style is impeccable, as Trent Kanuga always brings it. And the great part is it links to his Twilight Monk novel series that he's been writing for about the last 5 years. And it's very, especially for games nowadays, it's really easy on your time. The whole running time in the game is about 12 hours. You can see and do pretty much everything in it. And the theme of the game, if you couldn't tell by the title of Twilight Monk, is it's got monks and kung fu. So if you like Metroid style games, what they call in Japan search action, and you like kung fu and really great hand-drawn art and hand-drawn animation, and you got 12 hours or if you got 2 hours to kill 6 times in the next bit, definitely check out Twilight Monk. It was a great game and a great addition to the Twilight Monk series.
Yeah.
Right on, man. I see why that's so high on your list. For me, the next one I am gonna shout out another Marvel movie. This one for me hit a little bit harder than Fantastic Four. I really enjoyed Thunderbolts, and I think for starters, man, I would tell you, I kind of liked that they eased into the movie by making it just another Marvel movie, but kind of by the end of it, we're getting to hang out with a group of misfits. There's a ton of comedy. David Harbour, better known probably for his work in Stranger Things, plays just a killer character. I mean, honestly, like just nails it, right? But at the end of the day, I think a lot of movies like this sometimes can be vehicles, right? They can almost be a candy coating to have a different conversation or get people to think about things in a different way. And for me, this movie, at least again, my interpretation is it really speaks to the necessary connectedness of everybody. So again, yeah, it's a popcorn movie and explosions. So hey, I was covered there. But as I'm starting to kind of put two and two together about what it is that they would want maybe a young mind or someone living in our modern society to really understand is like how quickly the darkness can get to you and how a support network and to remember that like hey man like you're surrounded by people that have their own darkness, their own suffering, their own imperfections, right? But it's really easiest to overcome things like that together. So I hope I'm not sounding too cheesy, but I'm being deadly serious here. Like I think that message is incredible. And it's an easy movie to watch on top of that. So for me, that's a two for two, and highly recommend Thunderbolts. Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It did make mine though, and so instead of going and spending a whole bunch of time, 10, 20 minutes down the line here, I'll just throw that up there as the next one on the board. I knew it was on Dave's list. I didn't want to steal his thunder. He brought it up when we were talking about it before, and I was like,
Thunderbolts.
You stole my Thunderbolts.
so
What you want to
yeah,
read off another one?
yeah, well, yeah, I'll do a twofer. But not just touching on it, like I liked it. The characters had been previously introduced. You didn't need a whole lot of build up to that movie. It kind of just jumped right in, and you know, kicks, fight scenes, superpowers, all that. You throw some popcorn in there, and I couldn't have asked for a better experience. Didn't see it in the theater. Did watch it with the kids, and we all really enjoyed it.
Hey, we're just going to take a second here. We've got a call in from one of our really good friends, Ryan, aka DSC Mythos. Hey,
All
Ryan, what's
right.
going on?
Yo, it's DSC Mythos, and these are my top five art things from 2025. No particular order. First one's the band Worry Club. They have a song called Anything Else. That's been my jam. Uh, West Side Gun, Heels Have Eyes, one, two, or three. Any of them I particularly like. There's a couple of tracks on one that really good, and then two, I think track two on that one. Number three, Winterboro. It's a little cozy game. Just love the artwork on it. And then My Hero Academia, season eight, the final season. I know some people don't like the ending that much, but for me, I love the artwork and the build up and the completion of the story. And then finally, the album At the Beach in Every Life by Gigi Perez. And those are my top five for 2025.
Hell yeah.
So next up on my list, I am gonna drop Earl Sweatshirt's "Live, Laugh, and Love." Uh, not the best album ever, not Earl's best album, but like really classic Earl type raps and just the backing tracks had nice movement to it. Another album I just listened to front to back, and I think I was on the phone with Dave and scrolling through Spotify. I was like, oh, Earl's got a new album. I'm gonna go hop on the bike and then yeah, I got a good
Yeah.
30,
Hey
40
Brooks,
minutes in.
we got a couple on our list where we've kind of pointed out maybe there's better ones in the past, but at the same time, sometimes you just want more of something that only certain people can give you. You know, I know we mentioned Ace Rock, we mentioned Fairy Baby, we mentioned, you know, Earl Sweatshirt, right? I think even the Marvel movies kind of fit that description too, where maybe these aren't the best Marvel movies ever, but sometimes you want more of a good thing. And I don't know a lot of rappers that can give you Earl Sweatshirt except Earl
Yeah.
Sweatshirt.
Yeah, no, and it was Earl, right? Like, I mean,
Hmm.
uh, and yeah, I don't even want to like carry on with not his best because it's just good. It's
Hell yeah.
really good, and you all should check it out if you haven't. Gonna guess a lot of you have. My favorite
That's
track off of that album was December 24th, and if you haven't listened, give it a listen.
Have you
that's
set a
that says
reminder? You're
that
gonna make
that's
sure to.
that says a lot because like even some of my very favorite artists, when you said you can listen to this new album of his back to front, I would say even some of my favorite artists' albums, um, like I can really only think of a handful of albums where I really do listen to them back to front. There's always like usually inevitably for me like one or two songs that I'll like skip. I'm just like, yeah, like this is the one miss track for me, you know. It's I
Yeah.
still consider it an all-timer, but one miss track for me. So like hearing somebody say that like this album is a back to front or like that's crazy and that's awesome.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean, it was for me, right? Like, I didn't skip one, and it took me on a nice journey as I went for a ride.
It's no secret that I'm a big gamer. And next up on my list was what I feel is one of the finest adaptations that's ever gone from the controller to the watch screen. And season two just kicked off just this week as of recording. And my TV pick for this year was the Fallout series.
Mm.
The first season was just phenomenal. The second season has started off great. And
It counts.
yeah,
No,
so
no,
many,
no. I
so
was
many.
like, I'm gonna watch it. I can't wait. And then I just look, it's the 20th?
Yeah, and I think they even because I saw people even saying like 2 days ago that they had watched it. I don't know if they got like if you had Prime membership special or something, they got early watch access or something. But it's yeah, like I said, like for video game adaptations to like change something that's a very interactive medium into a just passive medium is obviously it's a hard thing to do because very few properties have been able to pull it off
Well,
successfully.
Super Mario Brothers original movie was.
And the
John
cartoon.
Leguizamo, man. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, we've
I'm
gotten
gonna
some cult
co-sign
class.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, sure, sure.
we've gotten some cult classics, obviously, you know, like obviously the Mario Brothers movie, like Mortal Kombat. But like few things I think with the adaptations is able to hit like every major pillar that makes the interactive
Yeah,
experience so unique.
yeah.
And
And
for
this is a
me,
good show. Yeah,
Oh
if
yeah,
like
yeah.
if you didn't know the video game existed, which my wife does not, right? Like she's like, oh, okay, like, and she's just excited to just watch Fallout because it's a good show. Legend of Zelda, Netflix, Street Fighter 2, we're watching. We're watching.
yeah,
You got high stakes now.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's for Fallout fans out there or non-Fallout fans. I mean, it
Yeah.
hits the time period,
Hmm.
the visual aesthetic,
Absolutely.
and uh the gore but humor at the same time pillars that
Hmm.
Fallout has always brought like to a perfect degree. And who doesn't love Kyle MacLachlan? I mean, come on. So
Yeah.
Fallout was my TV show of the year.
Yeah,
Hell
like I was
yeah.
saying, I would co-sign that just based off of the first season.
Cosign.
I was a huge fan. As soon as we get off this call, I'm throwing it on. Like I said, I forgot to tune into that first episode, and uh, I have been remiss in doing so. So I will get on that. And yeah, a little Easter egg in Get Out of My Head Volume 1. If you've given it a listen, you might find something Fallout related in there if you listen well enough.
All right, y'all. For me, I am going to go ahead and, as promised, drop the name West Side Gun, the gentleman from the east side of Buffalo that continues to contribute to the rap game. Look, I mean, I'm gonna listen to everything he drops. I'm gonna listen to everything he drops, and I'm gonna listen to it like it's meant to be a radio station. Okay, because that's the way I take it. I think the guy, he's an underrated rapper, but it's kind of weird to say. It's like I listen to him as a curator, and he's gone levels up, and then this year he kind of just let it all go right back down to some basic ass hip hop. And by the way, I'm not saying that as an insult. I'm saying that as it's like, it's just beats, it's just rhymes, it's just killing it. So on my list is Heels Have Eyes 1, Heels Have Eyes 2, and yes, Heels Have Eyes 3. I'm putting them all together. I'm cheating a little bit. I don't know which one's the best. I don't know which ones, but I mean, they just sound like, back in the day, like when we didn't have a lot of equipment, sometimes stuff sounded a little raw, a little unfinished. And every now and again, someone, I'm gonna go and say Justin Morales, looking at you, buddy. Every now and again, someone just kind of like nailed the equipment. You can hear that it's limited, but like you kind of hear, and I don't know what he used. I'm not saying like he did use a 4 track. I'm not saying that, but it has both that modern and nostalgic quality that just took me back to the golden age. So here in 2025, something that we would have been playing in 1995, be relevant in either era, has to be on there. West Side
It's
Gun, Heels Have Eyes. And one more thing I like about it, if you're a fan of his, you know what the previous series was called. We just called it the Hermes albums because we didn't want to say the whole thing. So I really appreciate that it's called The Heels Have Eyes, because I'm allowed to say that out loud without, hey, have you checked out his tape? It's called, and then you realize you don't want to say it out loud. So if you know, you know. And if you don't, check out West Side Gun.
consistency, man. Like all the way through those. I mean, same with 12, like I listed. It's just that consistency makes it seem too easy. Uh, I love rap. I love just fucking hard rap. I want it.
Nasty.
Yeah, I, I love it. I love, some conscious rap too sometimes. I like some fucking Aesop rock on occasion, outside
Mhm,
looking in.
mhm,
But fuck, West Side, man. Just the consistency.
mhm.
It's
Who's
good
up?
to know who you are, and it's
Yeah.
good to be that person.
Yeah.
Hey, Brooks, what do you got next?
I got Clips. Let God sort 'em out. And my favorite track off of that
Mhm.
album is So Be It. Although, you know, sometimes some potty talk gets the mood right too. Think Dave, you had played that track for me.
I like to potty.
Yeah, we're all potty people. But no, Clips just they came through. Uh, I I don't know what to say. Like, kind of like my next pick. You can pull it from the past and put it in today, and you're gonna make
Hmm.
me feel like I did when I first listened to a Clips album. And
Yeah. No, I'm gonna say too, like this is one that like a couple weeks before it was gonna drop, people were starting to say album of the year candidate, right? And I was skeptical because look, I mean, like not everything's for everybody, and it didn't do a lot for me back in the day. I respect what Pharrell does from a production standpoint. I wasn't all that into either MC. I know there's some people's goats. Like, just I just want to speak my truth, man. No hate, but like, it
hey,
wasn't
well,
what I
yeah,
would pick. Wasn't what I'd pick for me. Okay. And so I checked it out, if for no other reason than I'm like, a lot of people are saying album of the year. Damn, it's good. Right. And so this is probably easily so if you were a fan back in the day, I trust you're gonna like it. If you kind of thought you knew what they were all about and like that wasn't for you, what's it gonna cost you, man? You got a streaming service, put it on, check it out. Stellar album.
yeah.
Coming up next is our was our first guest here on Free Game that got the whole ball rolling with the podcast. We got Nathan Nice. Hey Nathan, how's it going?
Yo, what up? This is Nathan Nice, and here are my favorite art things from 2025. Sort of weird. Number one, I thought the Louvre heist was fascinating. You can ask me why. Number two, so the good homie Marco Zamora, fine artist extraordinaire, fellow CalArtian, he did a landscape series from the backyard, from his backyard at dawn, where the trees are silhouetted and the stars are still out and the sun's about to rise, and it's just this moment like it's ripe with possibility, and I know the exact moment, and I feel like he captured it really well. And I can't wait to see the whole series when it's complete. That was two. So number three, Z1 from BAMC's. He did a full abandoned billboard takeover off the 101 freeway near Filipino Town by Echo Park. This was like February 6th, where he did his name as if it was made out of humongous iridescent photoreal bubbles. And he definitely had like grappling hooks or some shit when he did that. It's too sick. Showstopper. All right, so number four, and I don't know if apps are allowed, but technically this launched like years ago, but it was just named Apple's iPhone App of the Year. That's how I found it. And I was literally thinking, I need something that uses like video game psychology, but for a productivity app, so like task management, but like, can I get dopamine, right? Can I start easy and follow a 2-minute rule, atomic habit type shit? And so lo and behold, I go online to see if there's any competition, because I'm like, maybe I'll build it myself. And I find Timo, Tiimo, app of the year for 2025. And it's just little dopamine hits throughout the day, but to keep you productive. So I thought that was really great. I loved, this is number five, I loved seeing Chance the Rapper back at the Palladium. My homie, the film director, David Javier, he hit me out the blue with the ticket, and it was just an incredible show. So much attention to detail, so theatric, so like down to earth, and his new album and all the classics, just fire. So yeah, two bonuses. Bonus number one, I watched like literally the first 5 minutes of Dave Chappelle's new stand-up before I went to sleep last night, and I'm just so stoked that this dude dropped an unannounced special before the end of the year. That's just hard. And already the first 5 minutes, I was like, ah! And then the final one, I'm gonna say shout out to my wife, Victoria. We painted each other's portraits at the very beginning of the year, just before the fires happened out here in Altadena, Pasadena area. And I think we should make that a tradition. I still look at those like, wow, time capsule. Anyway, that's it. This is Nathan Nice, Code Lamp, Gallery, Sort of Weird, Future Relic. Happy New Year. And mad love. All right, peace.
So, two of my favorite games of all time are Street Fighter and Ninja Gaiden. And for my next pick here, I didn't think this thing would ever happen. And when it got announced last year, and I was looking forward to it this year, I was so happy and overjoyed to play Ninja Gaiden 4. And where the tie-in comes to like two of my favorite things is obviously it's the next iteration into Ninja Gaiden, which many fans of the series, we never thought we were going to get another entry into that franchise. Partially because the creator of the series just recently passed away. Rest in peace, Tobunobu Itagaki. He actually passed away 4 days before the latest iteration was to come out.
Crazy.
And the game was actually produced not by his original team, but the exiles from Capcom that decided to leave Capcom and make their own company at Platinum Games. And for anybody that knows action games, Platinum is Platinum. So Platinum Games took up the reins this time, and Ninja Gaiden 4 brought back all of everything that you always want from Ninja Gaiden, where it's got the difficulty of a Souls-like game, the combos of any of your best fighting games from Street Fighter to Tekken, with just wall-to-wall ninjas, decapitations, blood everywhere. For any ninja fan out there, it was an absolute 10 out of 10. It was like riding down a mountain on fire with monkeys and ninjas. It was absolutely a thrill ride. So I was really glad that it was able to make a comeback and that it didn't disappoint. Ninja Gaiden 4 on every platform out there right now.
Awesome. I wasn't aware it came out until we had talked a few weeks ago, and on my list. I don't play a lot of games anymore. Was a huge fan of the series back in the day.
Hmm.
Never beat one of those games. They were, I mean, at least the first two were
I
really
did.
tough.
I did. I beat it on some of the harder difficulties too. I'd like to point out I was also unemployed at the time, so
Me
I
too.
had time back in the day. But
Fair.
no, really, really good to yeah, good shout. I have
Yeah,
not yet played it, mainly just because I know what's in front of me when I pick up that controller. But that's on my must play
for
list for
all
sure.
for all the younger like folks out there that haven't dipped into any of the Ninja Gaiden franchise, it was literally the Dark Souls before Dark Souls. And I've seen like some actual Dark Souls speedrunners and pro players go back to Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2, and literally after the first hour, they're like, damn, this game's hard. I'm just like,
Hmm.
yeah, because that's
Hmm.
how we did it
Yeah.
back then. Like,
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Am I next?
You're
yeah.
next.
All right, I've only got two left on the list. Again, we didn't rank these, but I'm gonna promise you the two left are absolute bangers. And I'm gonna pick a TV show. I'm gonna pick The Chair Company. And
Ooh.
if you don't know what this show is, and I tell you there's an absolute banger of a show, and it's called, again, The Chair Company. I would understand your skepticism. If you are a fan of Tim Robinson, the gentleman that did the Netflix cult classic called "I Think You Should Leave Now," um, this is that same mind, right? He's a guy probably most famous for having gotten kicked off of Saturday Night Live, right? And you know, you can find a few of the sketches from that Netflix show on YouTube. Billy, you and I have enjoyed many a sketch from that show. But the Chair Company is that same level of humor put into a mystery. So it's like this, like kind of like dark, actual scripted show on HBO, like where he can do whatever he wants, and what he chooses to do is go down a rabbit hole of like we think he's unraveling an important mystery. We're still not sure. No spoilers here, but you will, if you like his humor, you will love this show, and also maybe be dumber by the end of season one. So if that sounds
He's
fun to you, like please check it out.
that
That
guy.
sounds amazing.
That guy is,
Yes.
for me, he is the living embodiment of a Far Side comic.
Oh, I
Like,
love that.
like his jokes are
Okay.
just like he only needs one panel, and you're like the absurdity and non sequiturness to it, but like comedic level is just amazing. But yeah, that's how I like to describe him. He's
If
I love his
it
comedy.
If I may, fellas, I imagine there's somebody out there that's going, Dave, did you say I should see the chair company? Are you sure? Are you sure? If you know, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So I liked I Think You Should Leave, but not not something I would throw on all the time. And so I saw the Chair Company was available to watch, and I'm like, maybe that's not the thing for me. And I do like his comedy. So your endorsement there makes me think I've been going about this all wrong. I should check it out.
Look, there's a theme here, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and say some things are made for big crowds, and some people make stuff that's like intentionally off-putting and abrasive, right? Can I go
Yes.
ahead and say he's the West Side Gun of sketch comedy. Can I say that? Is that
I think that might be fair. Yeah, I
yeah,
hadn't
yeah.
connected those
It's
pieces.
not for everybody, but sometimes that's what I like about it is it's like pick a side, right? The world's at war. Pick a side, man. And like his style of comedy. And I'm gonna steal something that I believe author Jason Pargin from my list said about this particular show. He said, in an era where AI can write so many scripts, it's really good to have a show that like definitely wasn't written from AI because like nothing but a twisted mind could have come up with this show.
Wonderful. Last on my list is Ghostface Killer's Supreme Clientele 2. And
Hmm.
Bringing it back.
I listen to that not just because I'm a Ghostface Killer fan and, Wu-Tang is for the kids and it's nostalgia, but I listen primarily because it was getting panned in the online sources I was reading about it. And I was like, no way. Like, no, no. And so I put it on and again, I do a lot of listening to new music when I'm riding the bike, and so I just took off and track after track after track. I'm like, that's just Ghost. Like, if you don't like that, you don't like Ghostface Killer, and maybe you're tired of Ghostface Killer, and
He's old.
you've heard Ghostface Killer before, but I like rap. I like I like fucking people dropping bars on you and not giving a fuck, and that's Ghostface. And fuck y'all if you don't like it. That's my last
Y'all,
pick.
Fuck y'all.
2025 2025 has been a good year, but it too will pass. And it's important to remember Wu-Tang is forever. Are you sure?
Are
Um,
you sure?
no, man, I hear you there too, and I don't know who I want to quote more here when I hear people bashing something online, right? Number one, the great inaudible John did remind us critics are ravers, okay, and number two, in the words of Dave Chappelle, haters gonna hate, lovers gonna love. I don't even want none of the above. I wanna, and then you can fill in the blanks if you know the song. For those that know, right, Ghostface's big coming out party wasn't even on his own album, and that's kind of the power of Wu Tang. And pointing out again, like what I say I love about West Side Gun, right, is that curation, right, that feature, right, that orchestration. No rap group's ever done it better than Wu Tang. Maybe there's somebody you could say has matched it. No rap group's ever done it better than Wu Tang. So I'm always going to be happy to have some Wu Tang. I think I'm not checking my Googles. I think their LP dropped this year too. Tons of bangers on that as well. Wu Tang really is forever, man. That's not a tagline. Like that's just yeah.
And Ray dropped an album too, which I still
Okay,
haven't gotten around to, but I bet
yeah.
it's
You
fire.
you need to get back on that bike,
I bet, yeah, no, truth. I bet it's fire though.
Billy. What's last on your list?
So I have been a visual artist all my life. I come from a family of visual artists. My mother taught art at the collegiate level. Um, I am a professional artist now as an adult, and sometimes like artists of any craft can sometimes forget that we can there's still always something like technique wise new to learn, and you can learn it from someone like way younger than you. And there's a painting technique that was originally used by like the Renaissance masters, and it's called uh griselle painting, and it's the process of taking basically a monochrome piece of artwork, and it can be done in black and white monochrome, it can be done in red monochrome, but then glazing on top of that art with oil glazes to make it a full color piece. And the richness and the vibrancy that you get with that particular art style is just amazing. Some of the famous Dutch masters and like some of the great masters like Raphael were masters of that technique. And in today's digital painting, there's a lot of methodologies that are kind of convoluted that I've seen that people have tried to use to achieve that same technique again. And I learned from a guy that I was like following for a while. Actually, I shouldn't even say that. I don't know if it's a guy or it's a gal. It's definitely a Japanese person. Um, but I started watching their tutorials, long form time lapses where they take something that took them about like maybe 12 to 15 hours to paint down and squish down into an hour. But I was able to learn how to like basically do that uh, Grizel style painting in a digital way. And I also just love this artist's work to death. But my favorite artist of 2025 was the Japanese artist Kion Aoki. And I just have to, they actually started following me. I was really like glad that they liked my work as well and followed me back. But they do, Japanese style like manga art. They've been hired by a lot of American companies to come over and do a lot of comic and game stuff. But the fact that they were able to teach me just a new uh technique, I just found so novel that I was just like, oh wow, it's like it's one thing to like work on like a part of your skill, like to get better at anatomy or to get better at, like rendering backgrounds or something like that. But to be just like, hey, have you ever thought about putting paint like on the canvas this way? Like just totally blew my mind. And using some of their methodology and adding it into my own personal toolbox has totally elevated my game. And every time they put out a new piece of artwork, I'm there to check it out, give it a like, and like watch their videos. So I believe that you can find them on YouTube or X, and that's Keon Aoki, uh, absolutely stellar artist, and they were my artist of 2025.
Hell
Awesome.
yeah. Hell yeah. Most favoritist art things of 2025 should have some artists in it. So I appreciate you and Brooks both making sure that there was some good representation. Look, y'all, this is my last one on here. We said it's not ranked, but I'm gonna be honest, as I was looking at my list, I was like, just for pure karma reasons, like I gotta kind of put this in the number one position, okay? Because the Alchemist Life is Beautiful album, right? That thing literally inspired me to move, right? To move towards a particular project of mine this year. It created visions in my head. Those visions were destinations. They were familiar destinations to me, places that I'd been, places I knew I was going to go again, and I tried to make that soundtrack. So I don't mean for this to be a shameless plug, except to say I really want to complete my thought sincerely and say life is beautiful to me brought about a California coastline, right? And it brought about an elegance and a freedom, and look, the two rappers on it did their thing, man. But they're living different lives than I am. Like, to be completely fair, they're living different lives than I am, and I appreciate that they shared aspects of their life with me through this music. But it really was alchemist work that created these visions in my head. And if you know California, then you know that we have one coastline, but it's not one thing. It's not all the same thing. It doesn't have all the same vibe. So for me, this was about Santa Cruz. This was about Half Moon Bay, and quite specifically, this was about Morro Bay, where Billy the Ghost Monster lives, man. And so those are the images that I use to paint my picture, with the One Leak Left album. But to also see Alchemist Life is Beautiful on all kinds of like top 10 lists, and was Alfredo too, was also on there. The guy was prolific this year, as he tends to be, right? But it really was a North Star piece of work for me. So look, do what you will with the lyrics, man. Like Brooks said, like, we like rap music, but if you can't find the beauty in that, I don't know, man. Like, I think that album is a special, special piece of work. So I'll leave that there. Fellas, I know we're gonna need to say goodbye to the people here. We've gone long. I mean, I think realistically might want to think about a two-parter. But this has been a lot of fun. So we're not gonna leave with any words of wisdom or free game that we've scripted, right? That's for the regular show. This is really just kind of a look back at a special year, a big year for our guild, right? An excuse to hang out with two of my oldest friends, right? Talk a little shop, hopefully share some stuff with y'all. Real talk, like things that they share with me, like I didn't know should be on my list yet, and I'm gonna make sure I get to. So, fellas, I appreciate the hell out of you. Thanks,
Yeah.
fellas.
No, same to you both. Celebration of art and people bleeding into the work that they do and just showing them that it's appreciated. I mean, maybe they'll hear it. The people that are watching, probably not them that we're propping up here, but yeah, I love to give props. I love to share my thoughts with my friends, and I'm glad we all got to spend some time together and do that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
See you guys.